Good morning and welcome to Advisory. Today we are going to talk about the different types of colleges and degrees that a student can earn after they finish high school. There are 5 different types of degrees a student can earn: a certificate, an associate's, a bachelor's, a master's, and a doctorate degree. Each have different amount of time that it takes to obtain them and different careers that students can get after receiving such degrees. Typical 2-year degrees or 2-year degrees you could obtain in college. The first is a certificate of completion, so not 2 years but 8 weeks to a year to complete. They include careers such as floral design, food service, law enforcement, nursing assistant. The advantage of this type of program is you get out quickly and get into the world of work. The disadvantage is that typically there is a limited ceiling on the amount of money a student can earn with a certificate of completion. They usually happen through a technical or community college, such as Hennepin Technical College or Minneapolis Community and Technical College. An associate's degree, 60 hours of credits, usually is what's referred to as a 2-year degree. Some examples are dental assistant, accounting, graphic design, business management. Students who complete an associate's degree oftentimes will use that to transfer to a bachelor degree program. Our students who are looking to go to a 2-year program, either for a certificate or associate's degree, colleges will not look at the student's ACT score or the GPA, just that the student has graduated from high school. Moving on to the 4-year degrees. 4-year degrees are typically referred to as bachelor's degree. When students say they want to go to college, oftentimes the bachelor degree is what they're looking for. 4-year degrees in things like business, psychology, education, or English, many other options out there. College bachelor degrees can take 4 years or sometimes longer, depending on the college, the type of degree, and if a student switches majors or if a student transfers. It can oftentimes take more than 4 years. In order to get into a college for a bachelor degree, they will look at a student's grade point average as well as their ACT scores. Once a student receives their 4-year degree and they would like to do further training, they can get a master's degree. Usually another 2 years, sometimes required a thesis or work experience in order to obtain this degree. Some degrees out there are things like counseling, nursing, and business and education. Without the master's degree, the student could not obtain the career that they were looking for unless they had the master's degree. Then we have the doctoral degree. Is the highest degree anyone can earn. 5 years is the average, although doctors, surgeons sometimes will take longer than 5 years to become a medical doctor. Students oftentimes will have to write a thesis and do research if they are a doctor. Now onto the different types of colleges that are out there. There are many types of colleges. We're just going to highlight a few different ones right now. For the 2-year colleges, like we talked about before, for a certificate or associate's degree, there's agricultural, technical, and specialized colleges, Hennepin Tech, Dunwoody, where you're going to work on a specific career field, like maybe auto body, or you want to go into a specific hands-on type of field like welding or plumbing. Then there are places like Minnesota School of Beauty, where it's a cosmetology school, where you work on things like hair and makeup. McNally Smith, specifically looking at music. So at these schools, you're not going to be taking your general education courses like English and math and social studies. You're going to specifically be looking at a career field. Community or sometimes referred to as junior colleges, places like North Hennepin, Normandale, and Anoka-Ramsey. Oftentimes students will use this as a catapult to go on to a 4-year college and transfer, although students can obtain a 2-year associate's degree and get into the world of work after 2 years. Some four-year colleges, one example is liberal arts colleges, a broad base of courses in the humanities and the social sciences. Most are private and focus mainly on their undergraduate students. The classes tend to be small and a little bit more personable. Examples are St. John's, Macalester, St. Olaf. We also have a college, University of Minnesota Morris, which is a public school that is a liberal arts college. Universities tend to be a little bigger than the private school liberal art colleges. They offer more majors and probably have bigger research facilities. Class sizes can be bigger at the universities and sometimes may be taught by graduate students. Our local examples are places like St. Cloud, Mankato, University of Minnesota Duluth, and then our biggest flagship, University of Minnesota Twin Cities, one of the biggest colleges in the area. There are advantages and disadvantages to public versus private schools. Public schools tend to be less expensive than privates. They get most of their money from the state or the local government. So overall less expensive. There can be more on-campus opportunities because they are bigger. Oftentimes you'll find things like fraternities and sororities, Big Ten sports, or more activities that students can participate in. Private schools can be a little more expensive than a public university, but they have more scholarship money to give than the public university, usually through endowments or scholarships through the college. With that, there can be more personalized attention for students and their professors. Some of these schools, but not all, will have a religious affiliation, although oftentimes students do not need to be the same religious affiliation as the college. If you would like to start exploring college more now, you can go to our school's Family Connection website to do more research. If you have some other specific questions, you can certainly talk to your counselor and find out more about things you can do to obtain college degrees. Thank you and have a good day.